What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio. This is your host, Tyson Rauch. As always, you can follow the show pretty much everywhere. Instagram and Twitter at Talk Jets Radio, YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio, Spreaker, Apple Play, Google Play, everything else. We appreciate the follows, the support, everything else. And this is a great interview. I've been so looking forward to this all day long. It's Scott Mullery, a fanatic. Scott, what's up, man?
What's going on, Tyson? What's up, Jet fans?
Dude, I haven't talked to you in a while, man. It's been a while since we've caught up.
Yeah, man. It's Corona is crazy. It's crazy time, you know. Happy my family's okay, you know, but there's some serious problems going on, and you know, just can't wait to get back to some kind of normalcy.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. So I guess our little escape will be talking some Jets football now. How we do this is let's start from the beginning, man. How in the hell did you become a fan of the green and white?
You know, it's all about my dad. You know, I grew up 10 minutes from Shea Stadium, and all I remember is just being at the games. I don't think I had a choice. My dad just dragged me to the games, and, you know, it was probably like some of the best times, man. Like, throwing my football with my dad, going to the games. It's got to be like 40 years now. I don't know anything else.
Now, you've been fortunate enough, I'm in the same boat you are. You've been to Shea, you've been to the Meadowlands and MetLife. Which stadium environment do you like the best?
Wow, man. Like, back when I was small. I was like maybe 8 years old to 12 years old when I went to Shea, but I loved it. I mean, it was like an old stadium, you know, awful. It was a disaster. Now, you know, you go to these great stadiums, looking back, like, oh, my God, Shea was a dump, but the atmosphere was crazy, but, I mean, just longevity, Giant Stadium. I mean, it was like 20 years, 25 years. It was awesome. You know, the crowd, you know. I don't like the name Giant Stadium, but I would definitely say it was Giant Stadium.
Yeah, I tend to like the Meadowlands better than MetLife. I just think MetLife is just big. The acoustics are weird. They priced out the season ticket holders, like with all the PSL nonsense. So, like, you know, Meadowlands to me just rocked. It was like more like a family environment where you had the same people week in and week out sitting in their seats and everything else. So, but what are some of your favorite memories of this team? Look over the years.
Well, like you just said, like the Meadowlands Giant Stadium. Like I sat in section 114. Like the first 20 rows, like as far as I could see, it was the same people every week. Like it was a family. It was like the movie Fever Pitch. They were your family, your football winter family. You know, everyone was there. You knew everybody. There was never a different thing. MetLife just has like a strange feel to it. It's never the same people. It's not that diehardness. You know, it changed the game. Like the PSL has changed the game. I know so many people who either moved upstairs or don't go to the games anymore. Giant Stadium was just, you know, it was just more family oriented. I wouldn't say, but it was just more diehard. The new stadium, yep. you don't feel the same.
Yeah, no, dude, I completely agree with you. I had season tickets since 1994, and I lasted 3 years at MetLife, and I just couldn't take it anymore because I was the first row upper level, which I loved my seats. And then it was like week by week, I knew who was sitting next to me. It was like a lot of opposing fans and everything else. I'm like, what is this shit? I'm like, this isn't. It's like the whole home field advantage was gone. Like this isn't what, you know, like we were raised a different way. We're like, like you said, it was just so different. I'm like, you know what? This isn't. It's just not. It wasn't what you're used to. You know, it's just so weird. But you have a unique. Go ahead.
I stayed downstairs in the lower bowl because I figured, okay, I'll go to the end zone. I think it'll be all Jet fans. I have a great section. I have a great crew. It's opposing fans all over the place. It's ridiculous how you know people bought PSLs and they just keep selling and selling. I understand the money. I understand all that. But, I mean, I thought, you know, when you watch like Darrell Reeves' first game against Randy Moss, that lower bowl was completely green in Giant Stadium. It was completely green. You never see that in MetLife. They have blackouts, whiteouts. There's just never that home field advantage anymore. Giant Stadium had that. Stadium was old. It was different. It was just, you know, it was a great experience as a kid. I was like, you didn't know any better. You're just like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. The stadium's about to fall down. It's moving, you know. But that was in the 70s and 80s, you know. But my majority of my fandom was in Giant Stadium, and I loved it. Like when Ed did Chant in Giant Stadium, you felt it. You know, here it's like, you know, your family commercials, your kids. It's not the same.
Yeah, you're exactly right, dude. It was like when when in Giant Stadium, it was like the Jets game was an event, man. The tailgate was always great, but you went inside and you expected a raucous crowd. The place was loud. Like even if there's only 35,000 fans there, they were diehard fans, and that place was rocking. MetLife, like even like the home opener, it's like you don't get the same crowd. You get like it's just so different. It's so weird, and like the Jets have tried different things to kind of change it, but they priced everybody out, and it's like now like. Looking back at it, and they haven't been winning, which doesn't help. But it's like certain big games, like you expect like this crazy atmosphere, and it's like you got to pull out the emotion out of the stadium. It's so strange, man.
Winning would change everything, but it's just not about the game anymore. It's about Instagram and this and that. Like they're trying so hard to take away from the game. Like trying to stay was easy. Going and winning games, it was just focused. It was more focused on the game. Now it's focused on every little, side thing that no one cares about. I don't care about Instagram. I don't care about pictures on the screen. I want to see the Jets win, and I want I want home field. I want music. I want noise. But winning will change that.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. I mean, there was times like even this year against like the Steelers and the Raiders and the Cowboys. The environment got electric at times when it was like probably 25,000 Jet fans doing it. But you have a unique perspective on this. I've been dying to know this about you. It's like, dude, you're one of the guys that leads the chants, man. So it's got to be a surreal experience when you're rallying 30,000 fans or 40,000 fans or maybe 60,000 fans to just do this chant and get all fired up. How cool of an experience is that, man?
Oh, it's always been awesome, man. I'm honored. I'm honored. I get to do what Ed did for years. And I've talked to him. Listen. He makes it work. He gets it done. I love following him, but you can't follow in Ed's footsteps. He has it all. Winning just changes it. And what they do at the stadium is just not the same thing. Like when they score a touchdown, you want to go right to that chant. They go to commercial. They go to this. They go to that. It's just not the same thing. Listen, it's an honor. To follow in Ed's footsteps, but it's never been like it was when Ed did it at Giant Stadium. It was like an event. It was like a thing. Now it's more about, let me check my phone or let me check with this. It's just not about the game. But when we do the chant and it's good and it's loud, there's nothing better. When you feel the hair on the back of your neck rise because the Jets are winning and they're in the end zone, there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that. But we haven't been winning lately. And, it's tough. With the crowd's tough. It's not the same crowd. It's not that diehard crowd that you had in Giant Stadium. It's photography. It's this. I'm dying to do the chant, and there's 5 people behind me trying to take a photo op. It's like, go back to your seat, and then they'll go sit down for a half hour and send that photo to someone. You don't have that diehard fandom anymore.
Dude, you completely it's crazy. You hit it nailed dead on. I actually sat next to Ed one of the games this year, and it's like he was trying to do a chant with you, and everybody in the section was busy on their phones filming him instead of doing the chant. And he's like, "What are you doing?" Like the whole thing is to do it, not sit here and be like everybody's filming it and trying to tell. It's like, what happened to fans?
Listen,
like how did we get to this point?
I am happy to do it. There's nothing. I look forward to it. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. But it's just how, when in Giant Stadium, it was Ed, right? Score a touchdown, boom, Ed's up on the screen. Let's go. Now it's like it's 10-minute wait. Like you lose everybody. They're getting a beer. They're on their phone. It's just ridiculous. Now then you have 30 seconds to do it before they kick off. You lose, But fantasy football has changed the whole game. Instagram, it's like, it's almost too much of a family atmosphere. I know there's women out there who love football as much as guys and the kids. It's not the same. Giant Stadium was a freak event. That was an event. It was an atmosphere. This is just it's almost like hard work. I envy how Ed, got these people up because I turn around sometimes. We were up, we could be winning and it's like, well, what's going on? Wait a minute, but winning consistently will change that.
Dude, I agree with you. There's times where Jets do something wild and you're ready to go nuts on defense, like a big third down play. Half the section goes to get a beer, like you said. The other half is I'm like, wait a minute.
They're telling you sit down. I can't see.
Yep.
Well, then go back to your 70-inch TV at home. I love all the Jets fans, but you're paying $150 for a ticket. stand up. Like, let's go. You know, if you came out to the game, just stand up. I'm not knocking anybody if you want to, but it's third down and long. Like, stand up, make some noise. It's called the home field for advantage. I just never felt that in MetLife. I mean, you can count on one hand what the biggest games were there. You had your Patriot game, or this game. You know what I mean? It just, the crowd just is not there. It's just not there. It's frustrating. I envy Ed for all the stuff he did, but it's hard. It's not easy. People don't, they don't like you. They're like, sit down, shut up. You're like, okay, what are you talking about?
Dude, I feel for you, man. Because there's times like I've sat here, I'm like, it's like a freaking job. Like, you're working your ass off, and you could see like the passion and pride. And I'm as fired up as you are. I'm like, dude, like, what are we doing? Like, how is this crowd not going nuts? I'm like, finally, like, whatever, you had a touchdown or a big play or interception or like a big stand on defense, and it's like I watch you guys and Jetman and like Ed, like it's like you guys are everything in your power to get this crowd going, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, it shouldn't be like this. And then you watch other stadiums like Seattle or Kansas City or Green Bay or Baltimore. It's like you're jealous of them.
Oh my! You watching a Kansas City game? It's all red. But not even that. Like in Giant Stadium, like Ed was up there and he was the focal point. He was the sole one. But the crowd was standing. Like now, They wait for us to go on the screen, then they stand up, and then it's like, oh, an Instagram post or a photo op. It's like, come on, you're spending so much money. Like, it's just frustrating. It really is. I'm not knocking the fan, but it's just like so frustrating. Like, rolling it together. Like, come on, I mean, the amount of opposing teams that come into MetLife is disgusting. It's honestly disgusting. Especially this past year, Dallas, Pittsburgh, this, that. Oh my God, it's crazy.
So, what to change the topic a little bit, who are some of your all-time favorite players?
My all-time favorite Jets. Wesley's at the top of the list. Like I told you when we first met, I am technically legally blind in my right eye. So he's always been a fan of. I've always been a fan of his. I honestly like Kenny O. I thought he was total grit and took a beating behind that offensive line.
Yep.
Eric Mcmillan. When I was a kid, I always liked playing defense via deception. I loved Eric Mcmillan. Freeman McNeil, obviously, 57, Mo Lewis, Crabette, Klecko, who's out there now, Mangold, and hopefully Sam, I hope Sam becomes, not that he's not now, but, Wesley's at the top of the list, Mo Lewis, Kenny O. I grew up in the, 70, 80 era, so I'm a big fan of the 80s guys like McNeil and Walker and Bruce. I love Bruce Harper, but. Yeah, no.
I'm in the same boat, dude.
Obviously.
Yep. No, I'm a longtime fan too, man. So we have a lot of the same guys in common. And then you mentioned Sam Darnold, and, last year there was, some good, some bad, Demano, everything else. And now he enters this year with a lot of high expectations, man. Like, what are your thoughts on Sam? And do you think he has the ability to be a franchise quarterback? And are you surprised that there's some people starting to doubt him?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I mean, listen, he's got to win. He's got to start winning games. But I mean, unless he shits excuse my language, unless he's
you can curse, dude. Curse away. I don't care.
He's not going anywhere. I think he has the tools. The mono was like, Jesus Christ, really? Like, we came out like gangbusters last year in that Buffalo game, and to lose that game was just crushing the way it started. I totally think he has the tools. To be honest, I'm not an Adam Gase fan, but I mean, those two go hand in hand this year. If for Sam to be good, Adam's got to be good. I think I do trust him as a franchise quarterback. You just need the tools around him. You need to be healthy. You need to secure that offensive line, keep him standing up.
I completely agree with you. I think I'm a big Sam supporter, and some of these articles coming out now saying there's so much pressure on him. Like, the kid's super young. He's got a lot to learn. To me, the pressure's on Gase. It's like, listen, this guy was brought in to stimulate this offense. Last year was a train wreck. This year, he's got to maximize him and make him better, dude. Like, it's got to be better play calling, and better quarterback coaching. Just work on his footwork, work on his mechanics, keep him calm. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure on Gase, man. This should be his make or break year, proving he could be a head coach.
Oh, absolutely. If it's a bad year, that's on Gase. Like you're the quote unquote quarterback whisperer. This is your job. You're the one supposed to make his progression easier. I totally agree. It's Gase. It's Gase. Everybody says, "Oh, it's not Gase's fault." Well, come on, time to go.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Now, what are your thoughts on the revamped offensive line, man? Joe Douglas was clearly on a mission. He made a ton of moves. He drafted back then. Do you feel like this line will be, average, maybe above average now, as opposed to last year?
I definitely like the moves. The last couple, 2 years ago, they went the luxury player. They went that high price player. This year, they changed the plan. They went for some several good players, solid players. I love the guys that they signed, but they got to gel. And now with all this Corona and we're doing about training camp and those first 2 games of the season. I mean, Buffalo and San Fran, you're going against 2 of the top defensive lines in the league, so it's not you're not going to have any room for error there. But no, I definitely love Joe Douglas's approach to the free agency and to the draft and everything.
Yeah, no, I have the same, and it's like people that know me, they're so tired of hearing me talk shit about Gase, but I'm like, dude, you just said it. With all these limited practices, the potential of all this being crammed in, the premium is now more on the coaching. Like, listen, he's got to get the offensive line in sync as fast as possible, or Buffalo's going to tee off on
Absolutely.
Sam. The 49ers are going to whoop his ass, and then we're in the same boat we're in last year.
Yeah, I mean, you go in 0-2, 0-3 to start the season. You're like, whoa, Jesus, here we go. I mean, that's. I mean, I'm telling you. If it was week 1 or week 2, of all the teams that we're playing this year, San Fran is probably the least for a home. I mean, I don't know if excuse me. I don't know if there's going to be fans in the stands, but that's a brutal opener. That is a brutal home opener.
Yep. No, I completely agree. Now, what are your thoughts on Robbie Anderson leaving and then replacing him with Perryman?
I honestly, I think they're pretty much the same player. I liked Robbie in the beginning. I didn't like him with all his antics, but he just seemed to disappear at games. He'd come out like a gangbuster. He'd have like 4 or 5 catches on the first drive, and I don't know if it was the offensive scheme or what, but then he disappeared the rest of the game. He was either hit or miss. Perryman, he's not a superstar. I think they're basically I honestly think they're the same player. He can be, I wasn't happy that Robbie left, but I didn't think when they were talking the money and $14, $15 million, and then that he took 10, it was a little disappointing that he took less money. But I think they're the same player.
Now, do you think if you have Perryman, you have Crowder, you have Mims, you have Le'Veon Bell, who hopefully they do some better this year, do they have enough weapons on offense to be a competent, like a top 20 offense? Do you think if Sam plays well, there's enough pieces there, or do they need more?
Well, what is it like? Just the one player, Bell. Bell was from Pittsburgh. He was the all-star. He was the can't miss. Honestly, I always thought it was Pittsburgh. He had Ben as the quarterback, Antonio Brown as a receiver. Like, it all goes around him. Is it he's not as good as we thought he was? Is Gase not using him well? I think it all stems from Bell, how Bell had, what kind of year Bell had. The offensive line is going to help Sam, but Bell is key to our offense as you can get. We need Gase to put Bell in the game plan and start using him better. I think Gore's going to be a great veteran presence in the locker room, but we need Bell to be the Pittsburgh Bell, not the share the backfield Bell.
Dude, I completely agree. That's like that to me. There's like 2 X factors on offense. Bell is the one who has all the talent in the world, the running back, wide receiver, and the other one is Chris Herndon. If he can just stay on the freaking field, because I don't have a lot of faith in the wide receivers. Like I love Crowder. Mims is a rookie, can't expect a lot from him. Perryman to me is just a journeyman dude. So like to me, I'm like Herndon and maybe Ryan Griffin can bail Sam out. Maybe and that can he can be the X factor of the offense.
But what do you think it was last year? Was Gase not using him? I know, was it the year off? Or was he just in such a prolific offense with Pittsburgh that he's just not, he was a different team? Like, was he not used properly? You know, I mean, he took a year off. I get that, but like you said, Mims is a rookie. Perriman's a journeyman. Listen, I love Ryan Griffin, you know, but Herndon is so disappointing with the injuries. Like, suspensions, injuries. Like, dude, stay on the field, you know.
Yeah, no, listen, that's like, like everybody keeps talking about like how's the Jets offense going to be. I'm like, there's so many unknowns. Like the offensive line, we hope is going to be better. We don't know what the receivers are. We hope Le'Veon Bell can still play at a high level and he's used correctly. It's like there's so many we don't knows. But then you look at the defensive side of the ball, and you're getting C.J. Mosley back. How big? Well, hopefully he stays healthy for 16 games. But how big is that return to be for this team?
Well, I mean, you know what it was. I mean, know what it's going to be for us after just watching one half of football last year. I mean, that was, listen, besides Sam going down, I mean, it's 1 and 1A as far as losing Sam and losing Mosley. That changed our season. That completely changed our season. You're sitting there opening day last year, halftime going, oh my God, we're going to have a great season. And then CJ goes down, Sam goes down. It's like, okay, it's over. He was the center of the defense. I like the defense. I think we could be a top 10 defense with Greg Williams. I mean, but the health has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think there's the reports now that Quinnen Williams is like dieting and training. Like the center of this Jets defense, if like the defensive line is good, but if you get Mosley back, who's a force, then you have Jamal Adams behind him. Like up the middle of this Jets defense is going to be ferocious. I think they can do it, and then they have corners that are going to be okay. Like I think Greg Williams could actually dial up more blitzes and be more creative if he has a healthy squad. Like he was doing smoke and mirror shit last year with just like whoever he could throw a corner.
Yeah. Before Mosley got hurt, even last game, before Mosley and Williamson got hurt last year, up the middle we were solid. We were totally solid up the middle. You worry about the outside, but I look forward to seeing what Mosley and Williamson together can do. And you have Adams. How do you feel about all that stuff that's going on with Jamal Adams?
That was going to be my question to you, man, because, like, I'm a Jamal Adams fan, and I think he's much more than a safety. I think he's like a hybrid linebacker. He can do it all. And if you put Mosley in front of him, he could do even more than what he did last year. So I think the sky's the limit, and I think he's earned a new contract, and I pay him. Like, I don't care about what other teams are doing or what people believe. He's arguably one of our best players, the face of the franchise, emotional leader. Guys all around the league respect him and want to play with him. To alienate him and get into this pissing contest, like this is similar to Revis, in my opinion. This reminds me of the same scenario, but Jamal Adams is a little bit younger, and it's just, do we? And like, I don't understand why fans are all of a sudden like, oh, screw him, let's just trade him. He's too mouthy. I'm like, all his passion and pride you've loved for the first couple of years, now you're using that against him. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what do you think about this?
Listen, I mean, I get it, and it's all the talk. Like I don't believe in all that talk. Like there's so much bullshit in the media. Oh, this is happening. You know what? When do we have that stud player? When can we? You said Revis. This is probably the last time. The guy is a stud safety. I know you don't put all your money into it, stud. The guy's a phenomenal player, top safety in the league. When do we keep a player like that? We drafted him. Let's keep him. Let's sign him. He's that player, he's that star player. When do we ever just have a player? Giants had LT, all these teams have these stars. We get a star, like, oh, we don't need him. Let's let it go. I'm 100% with you. He's that dynamic stud. Pay him the money and knock off with the bullshit already.
Yeah, dude, I agree. And it's like, it's so weird how people, like, they're picking sides, all this. I'm like, he's like, for years, dude, it was like the Jets don't keep their own players. You got to keep your homegrown talent. You want guys that are first in, last out. Like, dude, this kid embraced every aspect of being a Jet throughout all this losing and all this media bullshit and everything else. Like, he's been facing it. And, like, sooner or later he's going to break because he's probably not used to it. But, he's earned he's an all-pro player. Like, when was the last time the Jets had an all-pro player like this? It doesn't happen very often. And now we want to ship him out? Yeah,
the first he's an all-pro, but let's get rid of him. Listen, I know you don't pay. Oh, you don't want to pay a safety. I get that. He's an all-pro player. He's that player. Yep. He's not a guy you give away. Oh, go to Dallas and become a star and win Super Bowls. Wait, we had that guy. Now we, why? It's like it's crazy. It's totally crazy. Even in the draft, Even
Yep.
in the draft, I wanted that. Like, you had those receivers out there. I wanted that stud receiver. Like, I wanted my Julio Jones. Like, the Jets draft like maybe 5 or 6 first-round receivers in their history. But you knew that you needed to build from inside out with the offensive line. So I had no problem with the direction they went. But Jamal Adams is crazy. I'm on the side of pay him. Pay him. He's that player. He could be that player for us.
No, dude, I agree. Completely agree.
When we were all at that show, like I was telling everybody, I root for the laundry. I mean, I have certain players that I liked over the years. I mean, I'm a 40-year fan. I'm a fan of players. I root for the laundry. But this guy is a special player, and that's the way I feel about that.
Yeah, I completely agree, dude. And it's just like, the same fans that are ones just saying, "Oh, screw him and trade him," would be the same fans next year be like, "God damn, our safeties suck. Where's this? Where's that?" And they're gonna miss him. Like we've been down this path before.
Why did we get rid of Jamal? He was the guy. It's crazy.
It's funny, dude. Because it's so, and the thing is, like, a lot of the newer Jet fans, they're like, you're so negative, you're so this. I'm like, no, dude, I've been a fan for so goddamn long. I've seen all this before. Like, we've lived through all this torture, and this last decade has not been good football.
We can tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Like, don't tell me. You don't know it. You don't remember Richard Todd as your quarterback, or all these other guys. Oh my God, it's crazy. We never, but we seriously. You could probably count. Listen, I love the Jets. There's plenty of phenomenal players over the years, but where are your all pros? Where are your stud players that you look back and, oh my God, look at this guy?
Dude, we celebrate when a guy makes the Pro Bowl, for Christ's sakes. As like a third alternate.
It's great. Yeah, the third alternate. Yeah, he's playing because this guy, that guy are all out. Yeah. Oh my God. Jeez, I just want a home player. Can I get a home playoff game? I mean, I'm not even that greedy. I just want a playoff game.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm so with you. So you're looking at this team. They made a lot of moves. Sam hopefully is gonna get better. What do you think is a realistic expectation? Is this like an 8-win team? Can they compete with the Buffalo Bills? Like, where do you think they stand as of now?
Listen, y'all can't lie. That schedule, they have some teams. I mean, you got Kansas City, San Fran, Seattle. It's just crazy. I think it begins and it ends in the division. You don't have that, oh my God, I'm going to go, am I going to split New England? Am I going to go 0-2? The division's wide open. Listen, that week 1, we had Buffalo. The last game was end of the year, you take that with a grain of salt. It's all about the division. They can, without worrying about, oh my God, I'm going to lose 2 games to New England. You can go 5-1, even 4-2 in the division, and that changes your whole season. And that's the dynamic I think they have. Honestly, it is a crapshoot. 7-9, 8-8, really tough games, but they need to stay in the division. I think it all stems from the division. If they can go 5-1, 4-2, I think they could be there. And the extra 7 team in the playoffs. 8-8, 9-7. Every year with the Jets, there's games that you like, oh my God, we're going to win this game, and then you lose that game. And then there's a game we have no shot winning, and we win that game. But I think it all comes from the division. You got to handle your business in the division. You got to handle the home games. But if you can sweep that, what do you think about? I'm sorry. What do you think about that back-to-back with Miami? Is that the craziest thing you ever saw?
It makes no sense, man.
I saw that. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, what is that? And I hate Miami. I hate Miami more than any team in the NFL. Hate them. More than New England, more than the Giants. I hate the Dolphins. But I think they can be right there. I know it's a cop-out. I think it's, I'm sitting on the fence. It's more, they're a borderline playoff team. But you got to win a division. Every game in their division, I think, is winnable. Buffalo improved; they're better, but the Jets played well with them. The Jets played against them. Miami's not as bad as people think, but the Jets, you got to win the division games.
So what do you think Adam Gase has to do in order to keep his job this year? Like, what would the record have to be? Like, what do you have to see out of this team?
Dare I say playoff team? Could I say playoff team? I mean, he's got to be up there with the offense. You know, he needs like a top 15, top 20 offense. With this schedule, I mean, 8-8, 7-9. You know, it also depends on how Sam progresses. I mean, if Sam has a bad year, you know, I don't think Gase has a shot. You know, I think Sam has to have a great year. I think we need to be borderline, you know, 7-9, 8-8. You know, that's.
Yeah,
I don't think it hinges on a playoff. I mean, the schedule is really tough. I mean, and no one can predict. Like, how do you think it's going to go with no fans in the stand? Like, is that a factor? Is it just 8 games?
It could help the Jets.
Can't hurt, right? It can't hurt. You know, it's brutal. You know, yeah, that's terrible. How are you with fans? Are you good to go? If they open the stadium, you good to go?
Yeah, man, I would absolutely. I mean, I think you know, this world's changing so much right now, but I'd be good to go. Like, I'm ready. Like, you know, I'm just ready. Like, I've been out and about. I live down the Jersey Shore. Everybody's on the boardwalk, the beach. Like, if I get on the beach with 30, 40,000 people, I can go to a stadium and do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think the revenue that's going to be lost, I think NFL teams are going to find a way to get fans in the stands. It may not be capacity. You may see 25,000 or 30,000, but I'm down. Like, why not? Like, it's, you know what I mean?
How do you get on that? That's my thing. How do you get on that list? Like, I'm like, if they don't do fans in stands, I understand it. But if they have 20,000, I got to be one of those 20,000. I'm like, how do you get on that list? Like, you know, that's why I'll be devastated. You know?
Knowing the Jets, they'll probably charge like 3 times the amount.
Like, a lottery. Yeah, a lottery. Oh, yeah. This guy's been a season ticket holder for 2 years. He got in, but I've been here for 40. Okay, you're out. But no, I listen. You know it. You know it from the guys in L, and we're in D. We need this. Like, we need the tailgate. We need the game. Like, I'm. Oh my God, I'm so ready for it. But now you're just waiting to hear what happens.
No, it's now the question I love asking is, if somebody asks you what is life as a Jets fan, how would you describe it?
Life as a Jets fan.
It's a good one, right?
Frustrating. You know, frustrating. I wouldn't change it, though. You know, I mean, when it does happen, when that moment comes, it'll be worth it. It'll be totally worth it. And then I'll want more. It's frustrating, man. Like, you can divorce your wife, you can break up with your girlfriend, but all the stress that the Jets put you through, I would never change. I would never change it for anything. You know you're a fan as long as I am. There's definitely a lot more lows than highs, but you know, that's what diehard is about. It's loyalty, it's faith, it's just in the belief that one day it's going to happen, and then you're going to be there. Everybody knows that you went through the fire for it. It's frustrating. Yeah. It's frustrating, especially in New York. You know, years ago I didn't mind it so much. The Giants won in '86. They won in '91 or '90. But now it's like, okay, you guys are winning too much. Like, I can't. You know, I want my title. Have we seen anything since the Rex years? You know?
Nope.
It's been downhill. It's been 10 years. You know, I won a playoff game. God, I won a home playoff game. It's been 18 years.
It's funny, dude.
It's frustrating, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't be like, oh, I wouldn't be a Patriot fan or, diehard. You stick with your team. One day it'll happen. I don't know when, but I'm hoping.
Well, dude, I always say it's like, it's ridiculously frustrating. It's like a roller coaster ride when you kind of know when the ride's going to end. It's always like that same miserable ending somehow or some way. But it's like when that day finally comes.
Gut wrenching. That's gut wrenching. That's the word.
Yep.
Gut wrenching. Like,
you
know it's coming. You can see it. Like, they're gonna have a gut wrenching loss here. I'll be at the game getting ready to get on the rail, and somebody will be like, "Oh, gut wrenching loss coming." I'm like, seriously? Don't text me. Like, leave me alone.
Dude, but it's like, after all we've been through, it's like, like New York has had so many great parades and all this shit. But I'm like, the Jets ever win the Super Bowl, the celebration will be epic. Like, I'll be drunk for 2 weeks, dude. I won't get able to see anything for 2 weeks. So I'll be hammered out of my mind. But the party and celebration for them finally winning, I won't even care the following season if they win the game or not. They can go 0-16 for all I care. I won't even care. Because it's going to be like, finally, after all this, we finally made it. it's like a journey.
Like that taste of 09 and you didn't get any better than that. That was just crazy. It was just like we were so close. Let me ask you something. If the Jets, I know you're asking the question, but if the Jets ever went to the Super Bowl, do you go or do you stay back with your crew? Well, Sam, your crew might go.
Dude, we were just there. Like I made the decision. I went to Pittsburgh and I went to Indianapolis for the championship games. And I was like, you know what? I'll go to the championship games. That's more fan oriented. I want to see them clinch. I want to be there for when they clinch. Like we bought seats like a tunnel. We're like, listen, we're gonna go all in. So when they celebrate, we'll be there for to go to Super Bowl. I think I'd go to the Super Bowl town, but I wouldn't go to the game. I couldn't sit in the stadium, dude, for that commercial shit. I'd be so nervous. I'd be a nervous wreck. Like I want to be like, in a bar, like just, I don't think I would go to the Super Bowl town, but I probably wouldn't go to the game. And then, I'd just watch. I'd be a mental patient.
I think if they ever went to the Super Bowl, I'd have to be with a crew. I'd rent a nice at Columbus or a hall, get 20 TVs, and just be with every Jet fan that I know. Just like to be with that instead of being with the Hollywood that's at the Super Bowl and all those nonsense there. Like you couldn't appreciate it. Like I want to be with my diehard, my crew, like the people I've suffered with, my tailgate guys, everybody. Just but now I'm dreaming. We're dreaming. We're only dreaming now. I'm getting sick. It's only June. I'm getting sick. This is the time of year where you just start getting the butterflies. I know it's different with the corona now. You don't know what's going to happen, but this is oh man, I hope there's fans in the stands. I honestly do. I miss my guys. I miss my crew. I miss everybody. It's such a good experience, from the camaraderie with the fans and being with the tailgate and then walking into that stadium is nothing better. Some of those playoff games. What is your favorite game as far as playoff game, non-playoff game?
Oh, it's easy. Jets Jaguars home playoff game was the best experience I've ever had at a football game, where it was I was an enormous Keyshawn Johnson fan, but dude, I was there at 6:30 in the morning because the rules at Giants Stadium are a lot different in terms of tailgating. You could do a lot more there. It was just a lot wilder, and that game was just it was a big celebration. We all believed in Parcells, we believed in Vinny and Curtis, and they win the game. Keyshawn had a ridiculous game, but the post game celebration, it was all the diehard fans were just so happy and it was so genuine. We're all hugging each other and it was one big family, man. Right? That place was electric all day.
The nah chants going on. I think it was probably confetti. That, but that was almost that team was so good. It was almost matter of fact, we knew we were going to win that game. When we walked into the stadium in 2002 versus Green Bay and all hope was lost, and we got life. That was insane. And to follow that up with the following week with the 41-0, that was crazy. That was really crazy. But like I said, I've been to all three stadiums. There's so many memorable games. But that's what I can describe as Jet fans. I can name all those games, but I can name you more heartbreaking, long walk through that tunnel or towards the tunnel. The Spike game, I want to cry. And I tell you, non-playoff game, one of my most miserable experiences at a stadium, and it was MetLife, was Christmas Eve.
I was there too. Game. Yep, I was there. I was in that end zone.
That was just ridiculous. And I'm sitting in my spot where I sit in the corner, and I'm saying, why is Kyle Wilson covering Victor Cruz? And Big Bang Boom was over. And I'm like, oh my God. That was there was that one last shot with Rex's team. Okay, we have one last shot. We were there. And then at halftime it was over, and I'm in the stadium that I share with Giant fans, and they're coming down in the fourth quarter. Get the fuck out of my stadium. We own you. I was I'm like, thank God I have kids because I probably would have killed someone Christmas Eve. I'm just that was one of the worst. That and the Spike game, non-playoff, are two of my worst losses that I can remember.
Yep, I completely agree. There's been a couple of them, dude. There's been there's games like you said. There's so many of those games. We have memorable games. I was down for the Wayne Corbett flashlight game at Tampa. I went down for that game, so that was an away game. You had moments where oh, this is so great, But then you could rattle off a litany of games where it was like a complete shit show where you're like, oh my God, like it's just like you're embarrassed to be there. You're getting tormented in your own stadium. The team doesn't show up. A lot of times it's on Monday Night Football or like some kind of primetime football where you get embarrassed. Like, I mean, I'll tell you how old I was. I go back to the Kotite years when they put fucking Vance Joseph on Tim Brown. Was it Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football? And they got roasted on. I'm like, you're sitting there surrounded, like, radio fans are throwing at me in my stadium. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we fans? Like, it was like just torturous. And it's just, it's just, there's some memories, man.
Like even like going back to say some of like the good games. Like I was there for the Jackie Slater game. I mean, that was just an insane game. Like when the Gastineau and Slater had the fight. I mean, that was a good game. The Jets won. I mean, it's going back a long time. The fight took over the game. But I mean, fucking Richard Todd threw for like fucking 500 yards. Eric Dickerson had an 80-yard run. Back then I was like, I appreciate him. He was a big guy. But the fight, like, more the game. Shea Stadium was just great. Like, you would never walk into that stadium now, but it was like I was sitting in front of the Mets scoreboard when Eric Dickerson was running down, But like you said, unfortunately, the bad, I sat in 114 in Giant Stadium. The spike play happened right in front of me. Dennis Bird went down right in front of me. Vinny Testaverde didn't get touched, but he fell down right in front of me. It's just like, God almighty. And like you said, some of the losses are just gut-wrenching. Was that the Philadelphia game? We're up 21-0. All I remember was Eric Allen returning the interception.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't like Boomer Esiason for throwing that pick. That started this Spike game comeback.
Yep. I remember the fake Spike game. I remember, like, why are the Jets playing pre-bet defense? I'm like, what are we doing? Like, the game's not over. Like, what are we doing here? And you're watching it, and I'm like, and it's so funny because you referenced this before, and this is what a lot of fans get on me for this, but, like, sometimes you just have this feeling. I'm like, they're blowing this fucking game. I'm like, they're going to blow. This is a typical Jets blow. They're going to blow this game. And sure as shit they do it. And, like, we even played games like last year, the last few years, like the feeling. Like the Bengals game this year, within 8 minutes of that game, like, they're losing this game. God. You knew it, dude. You knew in the first quarter they were losing that game. You knew it.
Yep. And what was the game? Was it the Miami game? They threw a pick like you couldn't throw a pick, but you threw a pick and the game was over? I think I went outside to get something out of my car. I was like, wait a minute, I thought it was a timeout. Like, how did we lose? Like, oh my God. I can't. And then, like, I was even with the Pittsburgh game, the Pittsburgh Champions game, you're like, okay, the Colts game, there was a lot going on there with the getting into the playoffs, but this is our year. And I can't wait. And then they come out in that first series, and I'm like, where is the defense? And to be down that much and to come back so close, I mean, 98 was crazy. We would have played Atlanta. We would have won that Super Bowl.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
Tyson, one of my oldest memories, I was 12 years old. I got grounded because I was kicking and screaming that A.J. Dewey was ruining my life. He was just ruining my life.
The
my
Mud
mother
Bowl.
was like, go to your room. I mean, the Mud Bowl. Like Don Shula. Like, I don't like Don Shula. Like, oh, rest in peace, Don Shula. But I don't like you. You ruined my 82,
Dude, I got a story. I got a story for you. We had Christmas Eve dinner. We was out at my parents' house. And when Testaverde threw the interception right before half to Chris McAllister, I lost my shit, dude. I'm like, we're going to blow this.
Was that the Baltimore game? Was that
Baltimore?
Oh,
I lost my shit. I was cursing and screaming. They're like, dude, it's Christmas. I'm like, I don't give a shit about Christmas. I'm so tired of losing. No playoffs. I went apeshit for my entire family. I couldn't take it.
Weren't we up 14-0 in that game or something like that?
Yep.
Were we up that game?
And they were driving. He threw it at the 1 yard line, 2 yard. He threw an interception. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, painful, man.
Stop it. It takes a strong stomach to be a guy. That's my answer. It takes a strong stomach, a lot of stomach to be a Jet fan. But like I said, I wouldn't change it. It's all, it's crazy. It's die hard. I look forward to it. I definitely look forward to it. I can't wait. Hopefully Sam comes out, but it's going to be different no matter what. The way the season starts. I mean, the training camp, hope they don't push it back. I mean, they're perfectly aligned, thank God. But I don't, as fanatical as I am, and I'm fanatical, my wife calls me a freak, but, you want it to be safe. You don't want it to be like, oh, my God, people are dying in your sports. I'm like, I'm not. I miss I miss social interaction more than I miss the sport, you know. But
right.
football, you know, now it's like, okay, baseball, basketball, football is like our thing. Like, this is what we do. So, you know, like, okay, please come back. But, you know, everything's lined up and it's healthy and it's, you know, they do it the right way. But I'm hoping.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I think. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they move the schedule back a little, move the season back a little bit, just because there's so many safety precautions and so many things they got to do and how they're going to handle things. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hoping that they have it. We have a full season. Like, you don't want to see some shit like baseball where they're cutting the season to a quarter or whatever, a half or some nonsense. Like a full 16 games. Just get our football back. If there's fans, they're great, but you just want to see it, man. Like it's like I said, it's part of our lives, man. Like it's something that we're like, all right, it's time of year. Like it's like, here comes August training camp. Like I'm ready to go. You know, like you just want that feeling back.
Yeah, I mean, you guys with the paper and the show, and great job on the paper, by the way. But, you know, this is year round for you guys. You know, football used to be like 16 games a year. Now it's like everything. It's off season. It's you know, it's a trade. It's, you know, free agency. It's everything. You know, that's why. I used to be a big. I'm leaning. I just keep on going more and more into the Jets because that's what I love. You know.
Yep.
You know, I didn't ask you before. I'm sorry to keep asking you questions. Where do you think they are this year? Do you think they're going to be in that top 7? You know, that schedule, that some of those top echelon teams is just too much.
See, that's a good question, man. Because I'm not a Gase believer at all, and I think they're trying to make a lot of changes in a short period of time. Like you could have 4 new offensive linemen, 2 new receivers, and you got to get them all on the same page and try to beat the Bills and 49ers. So if they do have a very good year, it's all on Sam Darnold. Like I think a good quarterback can overcome a bad coach, and that's what we kind of, if we're being honest, that's what we got to kind of hope for. Because I just don't think Adam Gase is a good coach. So if Sam can flourish and do some good things, I think 8, maybe 9 wins. Kind of like I think if 9 and 7 makes the playoffs, I think they'll be in a hunt for that. But I don't think they'll win more than 9 games. I kind of think they're trying to be like that 6 or 7 wins, which is going to be a little bit rough. But you know, it's just. I think Buffalo's a team to beat, and you know, it's just. I think the Jets, they have talent. If Mosley can, like we said before, dude, there's so many ifs. Can Mosley stay healthy for a full year? Can Sam stay healthy? Can Chris Herndon stay healthy? Will the offensive line gel? Like, there's so many things where the Buffalo Bills, they have some known commodities. Miami, like you said, is better than people think they are. And let's be honest, the Patriots, we don't know what they are, and they're going to be well coached. If they get a Cam Newton or they get a quarterback or whatever, you know, we'll see what happens there. We'll see, man. It's like I'm thinking like 7-8 wins, and you know, I'm hoping it's not like a 4 or 5 win season. Cause to be honest with you, last year broke me, dude. That start of last year drove me insane. Like I couldn't take it. I was losing my goddamn mind. So thankfully they turned it around and won some games. But I can't go through a 4-12 season this year. I just can't do it. I will. It's just I can't handle it.
Well, that's what happened like with last year. Before you went into the season, you were talking, okay, I need to win 3. I need to win 3 or be 3 and 4 before this stretch and that stretch. Then get to the easy part, and then Sam and CJ go down, and you're like, what the fuck? Like Jesus Christ, you know? Yeah, if they have 4 or 5 teams, Gase is out of there, you know. But I mean, I do like the defense, but the offense has to gel. I mean, you have so many moving parts that never play together. The offense needs to gel, and those first 2 games are brutal. If you go 0-2, you know, that's a brutal spot. You know, Sam's got to stay upright, but those are 2, you know, hungry defensive lines. But the offense has a lot of things going on. You know, I like the approach by Douglas, but a lot going on there. You know. Yeah,
and the thing is too is you know, and this team now is there's so much negativity among the fan base, and I'm part of it. Like I'm a negative son of a bitch, and I admit it because I'm tired of a lot of things. But if they start out 0-2 and 0-3, the media will be circling, the fans will be like this. It'll be, you know, team chaos again, and it's just. You know, it's just you want to avoid that. You want to be able to enjoy a season. Like I want to go into a meaningful December. I want to be like we're still in the hunt. We're still competitive. Like you can look forward to a game and it looks like try to the matchup and it actually matters instead of like another useless game. You know, like it's tough, man. You know, good.
Yeah, a couple of years back when they were like the Jets were supposed to have a terrible. I think it was like the year before, or Suck to Sam or whatever it was. People are telling me this is the mind of a Jets fan. They're like, oh my God, they're predicting the Jets to win 3.5 games. I'll bet you anything you want. They don't win 3.5 games. I'm like, let me tell you something. I'm a Jets fan for freaking 40 years. Josh McCown's going to win just enough games. He's going to win those 5 or 6 games just to get us where we can't make the playoffs and we're not going to get a top 5 pick. I mean, that's going to happen. Like, this is what you know these things. We know these things. And that's why I asked you the question, because unfortunately this year is an 8-8. Like, if you're looking at that schedule, it is an 8-8 viewing point. But I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I'll tell you. Okay, they suck today. This is why they lost. It's not like, oh my God, get off Sam's back. If Sam sucks, I'm going to tell you he sucked. If the defense sucked, I'll tell you they sucked. But when you're a Jets fan long enough, like you said, the gut-wrenching losses. Oh, this is happening. This is not, fake. You've seen it before. It's going to happen. People are, oh, you don't know. Yeah, they're going to lose this game. Well, this is going to happen. But that's why I asked you the question, because I think it is a fair 8-8. And with the extra playoff game, if you win division, I think, like I said, Buffalo came out. It's almost too good for them. And like you said about New England, who the freak knows with New England? But
I just think the thing, it's like the one thing that I keep going back to is, like, if you look in the history of the NFL, how many teams can replace 4 starters on the offensive line and have success from the first 6 games of the season? And, it's like, obviously it happens, but then I'm like, I watched this offensive line last year play like shit. The offensive line coach, in my opinion, should have been fired. He wasn't. So now it's like, I don't have any confidence in him. I don't have any confidence in Gase. I just got to pray. It's like you're so many changes in such a short period of time. It's like, it's one thing if you want to replace like your left guard, or you want to replace your center, but everybody else is a constant. Dude, you're making wholesale changes. That's not easy to do. And I think that could be a built-in excuse for Gase, but I don't want to hear it. But I think that could be the case, man, where it's going to be.
What? Javier? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Tyson?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry. No, the thing with Gase, it was just like when they hired him, it was almost like the Kotai thing. Like, the guy lost 6 games in a row. Oh, let's hire him. Like, this guy's in your division. He's not winning. He wasn't winning any games. He beat.
Dude, I know. Dude, do you remember that day? Do you remember? I remember that day. Dude, I'm sitting there because I used to listen to WFAN back then, like in '94, '95. WFAN was like religion for all. If you're a sports fan, and I remember saying,
it was the main sports thing.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, Pete Carroll's getting fired. I'm like, what? I'm like, who the fuck are they firing? Like, who are they hiring to replace him? And then it's like Rich Kotite. I'm like, what? I'm like you're doing what? Like, the guy that's getting run out of Philadelphia, who's lost his ass there, and we're hiring him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget the sports radio that day. I was like, this is typical Jets. Like, this is what we do.
There was Kotite's last game. I think whatever he lost, 6 in Philly. Whatever the last 6 he lost in Philadelphia, and his record with the Jets. I made the newspaper. It said, like, it was raining that night. I think it was New Orleans or Miami game. But I went to the game by myself, and I had a sign, 4-33. Any questions? Like, that was just bad. That was bad. Like, this guy, and then Pete Carroll, listen, Pete Carroll, the spike game was over. Like, he knew, like, oh, okay. I mean, they would go. I was at a party with all Jeff fans the night before. You're feeling it. You're up 24-6, and you lose that game. It was like, oh, like, God damn it. But he wasn't going to come back from that. But,
no, they quit on him too. They mailed it in too. Then they started turning on him. Like, you could see the wheels were falling off. But I'm like, all right, if you want to make that decision, they called him the players' coach because he played basketball with the players and everything else. But like, you replace him with this clown. Like you can't make it up. Like, you're just sitting there like, and then like Leon Hess, like, I'm 80 years old. I want to win now. I'm like, this is what we're doing. Like, dude, with this guy, I was like, oh, it was just. And now I'm hoping that we're not going down that path with Gase.
And then we got Bill Parcells, who went to the Super Bowl with the Patriots, with the Giants, and we just couldn't get there. It was like, 98 was like, that was the team. 98 was the team. They had it. I mean, I can still remember in the 98 championship game when they fumbled the punt. I'm like, ball, screaming, ball. And then you see freaking Ed McCaffrey running down the middle of the field wide open. I'm still sick.
Yep. I'll never forget that. We're sitting there. It's like anybody that, like, every reliable set of hands on the field fumbled was Curtis Martin, Byers, Meggett. I'm like, you're sitting there. It's like, how are we melting like this? it's like, and like you said, the McCaffrey thing with Victor Green. I think it was Victor Green blew the coverage. You're like, oh, like what? Like it's just like I didn't talk for like 10 days. I didn't like nobody dealt with me. I kicked in my closet door like, and I was so pissed, and then I was depressed, and I was like, you watch Super Bowl knowing that the Jets would have beaten the Falcons. Like it was no doubt about it. They were the best team.
Oh my God!
It was terrible.
Brutal. That's freaking brutal. And then again, about the Indianapolis game, when Troy Green went down, I was like, oh my God! I thought that was going to lose that one. But the same thing. It was another long pass. And the Doug Bryan game. I mean, I don't know if we'll beat the Patriots the following week, but still, Jesus Christ, I just can't. Like, there's so many. And like I said, we have not. But it's frustrating. Like you pay all this money, you want to go to the games. Man, 10 years, 18 years for a home playoff game, 10 years for a playoff game. Well, damn it, we're not that bad, We just got to put it together. It's frustrating.
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. Like, you go to the game, and like especially when they lose or get blown out. Like the Patriot Ghost game just drove me insane. Like you're sitting there and like you spend all this money on tickets, the parking, the tailgate, $10, $11 a beer, $12 a beer inside. The Patriots game. The night game, the disaster.
Oh, with Sam? Oh my God, yeah.
But you spend all this money, and then you watch that, and it's impossible to not be emotionally invested and be furious. Like I spent all this money, all this time, all this energy, and they didn't even show up. Like they embarrassed themselves, and it's like it's impossible to not be furious. It's impossible, and it's building up. Like you keep saying it, dude. Like they haven't won in a while, so that like year after year, it's building up. The anger's building up more and more. Where we have less patience, less tolerance. So now going into this year, like I have no tolerance at all. Like I don't want to hear excuses. I don't give a shit about injuries. I don't care about whatever. Like this is a team that has to find ways to win. Like stop justifying losing. Stop making excuses for it. Find a way to be competitive week in and week out. Like no, don't mail in games.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Listen, I don't drink the Kool-Aid, but enough is enough. Like we need to be competitive. Like the division, Buffalo might have gotten better. I mean, Stephon Diggs, like he's not the next coming of Jerry Rice. I mean, we're there. Without Tom Brady, you could still make a move in the division. I will never drink Kool-Aid. Oh my God, we're 10-16. Well, we're going 12. You'll never ever hear me say the team's going 12-4. But I mean, enough already. We need to start winning. And I hope Douglas is putting us on the right track. He went for the luxury plays. Not him, but the Jets went for the luxury play with Bell and Mosley. Bell didn't pen out last year. Mosley got hurt. And I think they made some solid moves this year. But, it still has to gel. It still has to work. All the parts have to work together. But the patience of a Jet fan, listen, it's no secret that the fan is more invested than the player. I mean, is that a secret? Is that a joke? I root for laundry. I have like maybe 10 favorite players. I've been a fan for 40 years. I root for the color of the jersey. I root for the laundry. Just win the game, win. I want the Jets to win. That's my only goal, No matter what way you have to do it. I do not care. If I'm sitting in my seat, if I'm standing on the rail, I don't care. I want to win, I mean, it's madness. It's just madness. I just want to win. Can we win a game? Can we get a winning streak? A couple of years ago when they went with Denver, they beat 2 teams in a row at home. Like, holy shit, here we go. God, I mean, you see, is it me, or is it not frustrating to watch playoff football and you're never in it? You're never there. It's frustrating.
I hate it.
It's fucking frustrating.
Yeah, dude. I listen. I could not agree. Like I get mad in December when the games don't mean anything. Everybody's talking about who's in the hunt and the wild card and this and that, and I'm talking about the fucking draft. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm so tired of not being involved. Like, you feel like you're an outcast. Like, why can't we be part of the party sooner or later? Like, can we join this fun sooner or later? Because I feel like I'm missing out on something. Like, it's not even enjoyable anymore. I hate the Super Bowl. I hate it all.
And people think you're crazy. Like, oh, what are you doing here in December? Why are you here? The Jets are out of it. Well, I'm still a fan. This is what we do.
Yep.
I came in. I'm going to the stadium at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning in September. I'm still going in December. I don't miss games because they're losing. That's not why you're a fan. You still want to see him win. You still want to see him play. Yeah, but there's nothing worse when it's freaking late December. It's pouring rain. You're like, oh, I cashed it in. I'm not playing today. It's like, come on, show me some effort. But I mean, listen, winning. You know what? You know, because you guys ride with Ed. What winning would just do so much for the energy. I don't think it will ever go back to Giant Stadium because the focus was where it needed to be. It's just it's not there. Giant Stadium was like you said earlier. Your section was your section. It was the same 50 guys. No one moved seats. No one changed. Now it's like I got Joe Schmo on my left, Mikey Asshole to my right, drunken kids in front of me, opposing teams. It's crazy. I pay for PSLs to sit in the end zone with opposing fans. I can go upstairs and sit with probably more loyal fans, more Jet fans. It's crazy. No. It's crazy. The PSL, I think killed the fan base. I mean, I've always said that. That's just the way I think. I know plenty of guys who left. Yep. They didn't buy a single ticket because they thought it was ridiculous. I mean, think about it. You're paying for a ticket that you already owned. You paid more money for a ticket. It was always yours. 40. Listen, I don't even know. You know what? If we ever won one, it's been over 40 years. What would I do? Like, what do you do then? Okay, I'm going to go back next year and hopefully they win another one. It used to be like, oh my God, I can't wait to win a Super Bowl. Now I don't even know what I would do if they won because it's just so frustrating. You're so negative about it. Oh, 10 years, Tyson, 10 years.
well, Scott, as I've had a blast, first of all, but what would be your final message to Jets fans, man, as we go into another year, 2020 football? What would be your message to Jets fans?
I mean, first of all, if you're going to stay safe this year, but if you're coming out to the stadium, just get into the game. Just get into it. Bring the passion. Be ready. If you come to the stadium, if you want to stay home and see the game, no problem. I can hear you sitting in front of your 70-inch TV. But if you're coming to the game, just stand up and, cheer, and stay loyal, There's nothing I could say that, anybody's going to listen to, I just said, just be loyal, stay diehard, and I really appreciate any diehard fan. There's plenty of them. Since I've been doing the Chant, it's an honor to do it. But the fans, I've met, and the people I've met, great people. So I've met some really great people. Some of the Jet groups are phenomenal. You guys are doing a great job with the paper and the podcast. But just, stay excited for Jets football and be patient. It'll happen. Believe me, speaking from experience, 42 years that I can remember, and, haven't even seen one yet. And, but just, stay diehard. I get worried because I haven't seen one in 42 years. They last won the Super Bowl in 69. I was born in 70, and I rocked the 57, and all anybody knows about 57 is he's the guy who knocked out Tom Brady. So it really is hard being a Jets fan. But just listen, stay positive, and just, stay dedicated to the team. And hopefully I see you guys all in September, opening day against the Niners, where we're 1-0, looking to make it 2-0.
Oh, I hope so.
Bring the noise,
Absolutely. Scott, first of all, thank you so much for your time, man. I had an absolute blast. We definitely got to do this again. And hopefully I see you, man, this September. I can't wait. Hopefully we're all back in the stadium having a good time.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, Tyson, thank you so much for having me. Sorry, I was asking more questions than you were asking me, but I appreciate having on, and it's always good to talk to a diehard Jets fan. And like you said, hopefully I see you in September. Better yet, hopefully I see you in January.
Oh, but there you go, my friend. Scott, thank you very much, man. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Tyson. Thanks, man.
All right. Scott Mullery, one of the Jets Chant leaders. That was fun. I wasn't sure if it was going to go 20 minutes, and we probably cranked out an hour there, so we want to thank him for his time. As always, check us out at Talk Jets Radio, Twitter and Instagram. Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube, and we'll talk to you next time.